Why? Why? I hated your movie. And then you made me edit your freaking video 4 times to actually get it up onto the freaking channel. I just, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry, man. You wouldn't like me when, oh. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Dravinwho Films, where today we're not going to be discussing The Incredible Hulk or any other Universal Studios property. So, Universal, it's okay. No hard feelings or anything. But yeah, so welcome to the third movie in our MCU Review Marathon. We're going to be discussing, of course, Iron Man 2, which I don't have as many decorations for. I don't even have a War Machine figure, which is weird, but I don't. I have Black Widow, Iron Man, and different Iron Man, so not as elaborate as a set. But anyway, I'm pretty excited to get to this movie because, The Incredible Hulk broke my spirits in more ways than one. So, I think it's about time to get into some actually at least decent Marvel movies. So, I guess let's figure out if Iron Man 2 is good or bad, because that's what we're here to figure out, and for some reason there is a lot of, there's a lot of mixed emotions about this movie. Some people absolutely despise it, and other people really enjoy it, so it's time to figure out what I find out, and, to figure out what I think, let's go ahead and get into the review. So, I'm just gonna, just clap this little, clipboard to start the video, and I don't know what it says on the front, but hopefully I don't get copyright strike for doing this, so let's begin. Alright, so like always, let's begin with the plot. So the movie starts several months after the events of Iron Man 1. In the first scene, we are introduced to a man named Ivan Vanko and his father, who is on his deathbed. Ivan's father actually helped Howard Stark design the arc reactor, and thus Ivan wants revenge on Tony Stark for stealing his father's ideas and getting rich and famous off of it. To get revenge, Ivan creates his own arc reactor and suit as the, credits play. In the next scene, we see Tony has used his Iron Man suit to help bring peace in the world, while also reopening his father's Stark Expo in Queens. Backstage, after the opening, he does a blood test on himself and finds out that the palladium core he is using to power his arc reactor is slowly poisoning him to death. So, again, not a good day for Tony Stark. The next morning, during a Senate hearing, they classify the Iron Man suit as a weapon and take Rhodey's rebuttals out of context to further their case. Tony rejects giving up his suit and defends himself by showing other countries trying to copy the technology and absolutely miserably failing. So later on, Pepper and Tony argue over the future of Stark Industries, and Tony gives her the position of CEO. To do this, a notary arrives to validate the transfer, and this person ends up being Black Widow herself. Tony heads to Monaco, where his company is sponsoring a driver in a big race. While there, he notices the poison is slowly spreading and his arc reactor is struggling, but chooses to ignore it and decides that he'll be driving in the race instead of the sponsored driver because why not? He's gonna die soon anyway. Unbeknownst to Stark, Ivan Vanko has joined the race as a pit crew member and uses a suit with Sparky Lightning Whiplash, his totally real name, to ruin the race and attempt to kill Tony. Of course, Tony, with the help of the new suitcase suit, intervenes and defeats Ivan by ripping out Ivan's own arc reactor, but of course not after putting up a pretty good fight with him. Vanko goes to jail, and, that's kind of where that part ends. Soon enough, though, a rival company of Stark Industries, Hammer, breaks Ivan out of prison and recruits him and his expertise to help them construct an army of Iron Man-like suits to sell to the military. Back at home, Tony does research on Ivan before collapsing from the poison. Luckily, Rhodey arrives and learns about the poison and Tony. Rhodey informs Tony that the government is trying to take his suits, and as Tony believes that this is his last party, he gets extremely drunk and becomes reckless in the Iron Man suit. Rhodey dons the Mark II suit and tries to stop Tony, eventually flying off to give the suit to the government. and then invites Hammer to study the suit and upgrade it with a bunch of freaking weapons, thus becoming the War Machine. The next day, Nick Fury and Black Widow find Tony and tell him to keep calm and not screw up at things anymore. They also inject him with a serum to try and slow the poison, which gives him time to try and find an alternate element to save him. Fury then gives Stark a chest of his father's old artifacts, in which he finds films his father made to help guide future Tony. In it, Howard stresses the City of the Future model, so Tony goes and retrieves it from Pepper's new office. Tony finds out that the city is actually the hidden atomic structure for a new element, so that's not something that happens every day. He uses it to synthesize a new triangular arc reactor made of the new element that cures his poison and makes him much more powerful. The fact that Tony just freaking straight up created another element is never mentioned again in the entire MCU, which seems kind of weird, because that seems like a big thing, but whatever. Meanwhile, at Hammer, with the help of Ivan, they have built a small army of Iron Man-like drones that are about to be shown at Stark Expo. During the unveiling of the drones, however, Ivan takes control of them and War Machine and starts terrorizing the Expo. It's not good. They begin chasing after Stark, and he begins taking the drones out as Black Widow slowly but surely frees War Machine from, control. Then Ivan shows up in his own energy whip suit that is, made to look like the other drones, but is defeated when Tony and Rhodey combine their repulsor beams to destroy Ivan. They believe the battle is won, but soon the drones start self-destructing everywhere and blowing up the entire Stark Expo. Pepper is nearly killed by this, but Tony saves her at the last second. Later on, Fury informs Tony that he is unsuitable for the Avengers Initiative, and S.H.I.E.L.D. just wants him as a consultant. In the post-credit scene, we see Agent Coulson driving to a crater, where he informs Fury over the phone that they found, quote-unquote, it. It, of course, being Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, located now in New Mexico, as Coulson mentions earlier to Tony. I ended up thoroughly surprised by Iron Man 2, and unlike The Incredible Hulk, it was in a good way. The movie was a lot of fun and much more interesting than I remember as a kid. I honestly don't know why so many people don't like this movie, as again, I found myself smiling throughout the entire film. I really enjoyed the villain of Ivan Vanko. I mean, he actually had a believable motivation behind his actions, and that, his ideas were stolen. I mean, it's kind of like the whole Tesla-Edison thing, but to an extreme. And Justin Hammer, he's a little too over the top and annoying, but overall that didn't ruin the film for me or anything. I also really enjoyed how much S.H.I.E.L.D. was involved in this movie as well. Scarlett Johansson does a great job as Black Widow for the first time. It's good seeing Coulson again. And Don Cheadle as Rhodey/War Machine now is a perfect fit. Again, we got some more Easter eggs, like mentions to the upcoming Thor a lot, and a prototype of Captain America's shield and Howard's stuff, which, Tony just kind of uses as, like, a thing to lift up the element creator or whatever. So, there's a lot of neat little hints in there for the future of the MCU. So, in the end, I would highly recommend Iron Man 2, as it was a lot of good Marvel fun, and got me re-energized after watching the Hulk, which is an incredibly difficult thing to do. Alright guys, so like I said, Iron Man 2 is an excellent movie. Now, the villains can be a little too much at times, but overall, it's a really enjoyable time, especially if you made the bad decision to watch The Incredible Hulk by Universal Studios, which my video will probably get taken down for just by saying that. But I hated that movie. I hated it more when I had to edit its video 4 times. So, this was really good. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was fun. It was a fun movie. And really, that's all I'm here for, is to watch a fun movie. The Hulk couldn't do. I gotta get over the Hulk. I know. Gotta get over the Hulk. It's just hard. It's just hard to get over the Hulk. It's really bad. So, don't watch it. But yeah. Iron Man 2, fantastic movie. Highly recommend it. And, it's Marvel doing what they're best at doing. Making a good, fun superhero film. So, Yeah, that's my review of Iron Man 2. I hope you guys enjoyed that rhyme I just made, which, it just kind of happened, so cool. But, yeah, so thank you all for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to Dravinwho Films for more awesome content. And I will see you all in the next video. And also, if you guys would like to stay updated on when the next video is releasing, I always put up notifications on my Discord server, which there is a link in the description below to. And that way you can see when the heck I'm getting back from Boston, when the next video is going up, etc. There's going to be a big update video going on in Dravinwho Games that regards all the channels, so go check that out when it goes up. And you can find out when that goes up by, again, hitting the Discord server. So, thank you all for watching, like I said, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.